In red, Colorado in white, and the opening tip is controlled by the Buffaloes. Kendall Weta is the point. They look for Masagayo. Back out to Weta. Rolling it back to Masagayo.
And immediately you see them trying to get Masagayo on the roll. Great double team by Houston.
Good fight on the boards by Colorado, with a put back by the freshman from Melbourne, Australia. Tabitha Betson gets the game's first points.
Shot clock didn't reset, so that's why we got a quick whistle from the official.
Give me a chance to show you the starting five. Kiara Merchant, the sophomore out of Texas. Gigi Cook, also a sophomore. We've talked about Blair, Lily Love, Peyton McFarland, the fifth year from Boise, in the posts. Colorado ball hawking right away. And it'll be Houston basketball, trying to make it difficult. You don't want to, I guess you'll want to speed up this Houston team quite a bit because they only have 2 bench players available, and that's been the story for Ron Huey's team over these past several weeks.
Well, in watching film, it seems like every team is looking to extend pressure, just looking to wear Houston down because, as you said, only 2 players coming off the bench.
So what's vital for Houston today if they're going to pull off an upset and advance to round 2?
I think first thing, take care of the ball. The Achilles heel of Colorado this season has been they will turn the ball over. So can Houston get some easy scoring opportunities from those misses?
Lily Love off the mark, and it'll be Colorado basketball.
And I know Lily Love missed that shot, but I think that's a good sign if you're a Houston fan because Lily Love needs to hunt shots today to get a little inside out going with Blair. And here's the thing for Colorado. They run a Princeton offense. When they've been at their best, it is going side to side, and they've shot well all season long. I'll say it again. Can they take care of the ball? That has been the Buffaloes' Achilles heel this season.
Masagayo, nice move inside for 2. Colorado has already had their season awards, and Jade Masagayo won the MVP award. That's the impact she had because they're playing without Frida Foreman, who's still their leading scorer, but she's been out now for 13 games as she tries to come back from the foot injury. Gigi Cook, last touched by Colorado.
And you already see a couple of possessions where it's been that low screen on the ball and then the roll because you see the hedge to take away the ball handler by Houston. That's why Masagayo's been open. Great pass.
Oh, and a great finish, too, by Blair for her first points, averaging better than 13 points a game. Houston looking to get disruptive in the backcourt, and a tie-up is called. Possession arrow will give it to Houston. You see the starting 5 for Colorado with Weta at the point, Tadair, along with Garzone, and here's that last bucket.
And so it's no one defending the inbound defender. Lily sees that. Blair sees that, cuts right to the rim. Great pass by Lily Love.
Off the turnover, here's Love. 3-pointer on the way is good. Open look for Gigi Cook. 28th made 3 for Cook this season. And hitting from 30% from deep, Christy.
Sorry, I asked J.R. Payne yesterday at Key. She said, we've got to withstand Houston's early energy. She knew they would dress 7. She said, we got to stay close, but she expected Houston to come out just like they have so far in this game.
Merchant turned over by Colorado, looking for the Love. Masagayo. Last touched by Houston. It'll be Colorado basketball.
The matchup to watch is Peyton McFarland on Masagayo because ideally Peyton McFarland wants to stay in the paint. She also wants to avoid foul trouble because they don't have post step, does Houston. So again, a key matchup to watch in this game.
They've got great size with McFarland. She's the only Cougar to start every game this season. Turnaround by Masagayo, soft touch is good. Averaging 12 points a game, went for a team high 18 last time out against Texas Tech, was 8 of 12 from the field.
But we've seen it. It's not like Masagayo was a back-to-the-basket post. That's what's so remarkable about her shooting 60% in Big 12 play because she's done it with some face-ups. She's done it off the bounce.
McFarland has not attempted a 3, so they'll give her that shot. She won't take it. Blair will take 3s and most likely make 3s. That is her 60th made 3 this season. The 254th make of her Houston career. That's number 1 on their all-time list. Good feed. Finish won't go, but there's Masagayo to clean it up. Already 6 points for the junior from Fort Worth who played at Missouri State the last 2 seasons. Love. Maybe a little gun shy after that first miss from deep, so she tries to mix it up inside, and she was fouled.
Well, for Houston, I love the selflessness, the extra pass by Merchant to find Blair for that look. And then same thing on the other end for the Buffaloes. Extra pass, can't finish, but cleaning it up is who else but Masagawa.
Colorado goes to their bench. They don't have a deep bench, but they have a deeper bench than Houston, so
it's all relative.
We would expect them to be pretty active coming in and out. Grace Oliver's into the game, along with Ayanna Johnson in the post for Colorado. There's Ron Huey in his 11th season now as Houston's head coach. 2nd season now in the Big 12 for the Cougars. You track, and you know it's been a struggle for Houston all year because they haven't had numbers. They had a game where 5 players only got on the floor. All 5 played 40 minutes. That was against UCF. That one won't drop. So they're fighting. They're and that's like you see it right here. They're going to get on the court. They've played with 5. They've had only 6 dressed. They have 7 dressed today. But one thing has been consistent: that effort.
And it's a trademark of Ron Huey teams. And I can't say this enough. If you followed Houston, if you followed Ron Huey, he is a defensive-minded coach. And it was always fun for me to watch because he would mix up the defenses. His defense was his offense. And because of the lack of numbers this season, he's had to alter what he is doing. He went to the portal recruiting kids to play that defensive system. Now he's got players playing who were supposed to be role players, and he's had to modify the system. So this has been a coaching staff who's just had to consistently adjust on the fly all season long.
Oliver rattles in the 3 for Colorado. Didn't score last time out against Texas Tech. Freshman from Norwell, Mass, averaging just over 3 points a game. Blair working with McFarland's screen. Leilani Augmon into the game, redshirt senior from San Jose, and she knocks down a deep 2. She broke her nose January 17th against Baylor, had surgery January 27th, and returned February 22nd because they needed her. So she's got the mask on for Houston, and a turnover by Colorado.
Well, this is a great sign for Houston. If Augmon can get going from deep, sees that the defender's playing off, just elevates and knocks down the shot.
Augmon played at Troy before coming to Houston this season. Blair, defended by Weta, good defender. Augmon, wide open look for 3. Comes up short. Cook with the quick follow. No, McFarland on the inside. And a rebound for Colorado's Oliver. To there, no. Tip by Augmon. Oh, beautiful tip, but unable to control it was Johnson. And that will get us to a media timeout. It comes with 4:40 to go in the opening quarter, and it's a 1-point game.
Old Trapper Beefs. Energy emergency. What's your beef?
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
If you see water as a precious resource, and you reuse it, and reuse it, and reuse it, and reuse it, you might have a dairy farmer in you. Most dairy farmers recycle water up to 4 times, from chilling the milk to irrigating the fields.
Do the Ravens have it this year? Can Lamar get it done? They're trying to write us off. Y'all got it? Yeah, hard.
Oh, you know we got it. Yup. That's right.
Oh, you know we got it. That dog. Oh, you know we got it. That fight. Y'all ready? Oh, you know we got it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. He ain't never gonna stop us, 'cause
the Big 12 Conference has it all. We've got sharpshooters, All-Americans, playmakers, Olympians, legendary coaches, and the best fans in the nation.
Anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
And with a variety of styles of play throughout the league, you just never know what can happen any given night.
It's a league that you guys show up and compete on every night.
You have to be at your best every time you step on the court, and I think that's what makes this the best conference in the country.
Well, unfortunately, no Frida Foreman today for Colorado. You know the impact she's had on this Colorado program, the grad student from Denmark in her 5th season, all with the Buffs. Their leading scorer this year, 12.5 points a game. Played a ceremonial couple of seconds on Senior Day in Boulder just to get the love from the crowd there, and you can see she's giving the love to her teammates. She's in a walking boot again today. It's not that she's been ruled out for the season, and I know J.R. Payne told you yesterday, you know, it's like a day-to-day thing. Maybe it's going to work, but right now it's just not working for Frida Foreman, and unfortunately the elite shooter in a spectator role today.
And I know we use that term a lot, day-to-day, but JR said, listen, it really is. We're testing it out each day because first and foremost, it is the health and welfare of Frida Foreman that they're concerned with. But I said, so there's a chance this week? She said, yeah, we test it every day. It's truly day-to-day.
Missing 13 games this season. The team is 7-6 without Foreman. Honorable mention, Big 12, so just gives you an idea of where her game was, and then missing so much time with that foot injury.
And JR said she only has 2 players on this team because there's 10 newcomers to this ball club that have any true experience in significant minutes, and Frida being one of those. And so when you take her off the floor, she said she's the one that gets us organized. She's the glue player. She's the one with basketball IQ. She just calms us down.
300 made threes in her Colorado career is a good calming influence, I think, if you can count on that. Colorado missed a great opportunity to score, but they have it back here. 10 seconds. Kennedy Sanders comes in to run the point, finds on the back cut Aaron Powell, who's unable to finish. Didn't hit the rim, so they got to shoot again. A block by Augman, followed up, it caught the rim, and a rebound for Houston. Here's Blair. Blair lost the handle, defended by Garzone. It will be Colorado basketball. Here is the second and final substitute for Houston, Summer Bostock, sophomore from Toronto, who was with Maryland last season. She's a good shooter. She's in the game number 8.
And that's what Ron Huey was telling me yesterday about Bostock. He said, when she believes she can defend, our team's going to take a next step.
Sanders to the basket for 2. Redshirt freshman from Chaska, Minnesota, gets her first points, averaging a little over 4 a game. Good job defensively by Grace Oliver. Ball free on the floor, controlled by Houston, picked up by Love. And Blair will reset as we approach 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Augman, traveling violation. Turnover by Houston, that is their 4th. Christie mentioned before the turnover troubles for Colorado. It's hurt them. They're 15th in margin. Houston turns it over this time.
And Eric, this is what the team defense that Ronald Huey was telling me about. If you look at Bostock right there, there's the dribble penetration by Sanders. Bostock just late to come and rotate over. Good look, good drive by Sanders. Good defense by Lily Lover. That was going to be another 2 for Masagawa on the roll.
Picked up by Blair. Love to the basket. So good job by Love on the defensive end and rewarded on the offensive end. Her first points.
And I anticipate to see Colorado try to push tempo every time.
Ooh. Wow. That was, let's count the X's and I's beyond the three-point line on this court where that one was launched, but that was deep from Garzone. 45th made three this season, the team leader in threes made and attempted. She's taking that advantage with Foreman on the bench.
I'm sorry, that should be an asterisk because that should actually count for 46 as well, as deep as it was.
Blair saw how deep that one went, so she's like, let me try. All right, let's count it up here.
Well, I mean, no one's contesting. I don't falter. I just, like, I was in the middle of speaking and I stopped because I was shocked.
Your jaw dropped.
And Eric Fried will tell you, I don't get quiet very often.
That's what it takes to just take Christy's breath away. Well done.
Very impressive.
Of course, Colorado back in the Big 12. Their last tourney appearance, 2011. Garzone has experience in the Big 12, played at Oklahoma State last 2 seasons.
Well, and history repeats itself. The first time in the Big 12, Colorado won the championship.
21 to Dare. Knocks it down for 3. 7-point lead for the Buffs.
You know, I talked to both coaches yesterday. I said something's got to give because neither one of these teams have performed well on the road. Both teams have done extremely well at home.
Well, J.R. Payne's team, you talk about a home court advantage. At the CU Event Center, 14-2. The margin in that game, those games, plus 13 for Colorado. But on the road or on neutral floors, 4-9, Christy, a -9 in scoring margin. Masagayo gets called for the travel.
And so I asked JR specifically, I was like, what's the difference with your team home and away? And this is when she brought up Frida. She said, no one really calms us in the moment, you know, just to say stop, refocus. And so that's where we really miss Frida, is when we've been on the road, hostile environments. We just haven't been able to collect ourselves, you know, with the players on the floor. She said, so, of course, I call a timeout, but everybody will tell you, you only get 4 of those.
Masagayo with the rebound. Kicked up ahead, Garzone. Went up on the entry pass to the freshman. Kicked back out by Betson. They work it around. They find the open 3, unable to hit. McFarland's got the rebound for Houston. Shot clock is off. Blair will hold for 1. Blair ready to go with 8. Blair with 4, ducks inside, can't get it. Masagayo with the rebound, and stepping out of play was the Colorado forward, so Houston's got a chance here. 0.9 is enough to catch and shoot.
I would expect a quick kind of lob for potentially Lily Love or a handoff.
And that will do it for the first quarter. Colorado leading after 1, 19-12. Game 2 of the big in overtime by 4. Colorado, Christie, shot 56% in that game, but they had 23 turnovers. As you mentioned, if they take care of the basketball, they're going to be in the game and have a chance to win it. But that has been an issue all season long for Colorado.
Colorado's a team on the season shooting over 46% from the field. That's awesome. The problem has been averaging 18 turnovers a game.
Good offense there. Masagayo gets another one. She's a perfect 4 for 4 from the field so far.
And that's the thing, you can move Masagayo around because of her athleticism, her hands, her agility. And so we've seen her score in a lot of different ways already in this first half. For Houston, they've got to get Lily Love going.
Love off the mark and a rebound for Tadare. Weta for Tadare. Pritchard's down in the paint, and a trip to the free throw line coming for Colorado.
So Masagayo sets the down screen, and because her defenders stayed in the paint, it was easy for Betson to come over and set that screen on her, and then an easy find for Masagayo on the block. You know, Eric, I say this all the time. You want to get the ball, become a good screener, because by you setting screen for your teammate, your player has to help. It opens you up.
Find somebody who can get you the ball too, and that's what Kendall Weta has been doing today. She has 4 of the 5 Colorado assists in the first half. JoJo Noori comes into the game. This will be her 8th appearance of the season. So we've seen Erin Powell already in the first half. Her 16th appearance as J.R. Payne giving everybody a little run here in the first half against this thin Houston lineup.
Well, with that substitution, that's the 10th player for Colorado seeing the floor.
Love tried to save it, could not. It'll be Colorado basketball. So if you're Ron Huey, how do you manage the minutes and try to keep your team as fresh as possible?
I mean, he's done it all season long. He'll call the timeout if he needs to give them a break, give them a rest. It's really a matter at this point as well for Houston. It's just understanding next play mentality, trying to get a stop on the defensive end or take a charge like that to get the stop and then go and execute on the offensive end.
Gigi Cook gets the contact and the foul against Weta.
Gigi Cook moving her hands, and it wasn't as much as Cook getting position, it was the extension of that arm by Weta that gets the call.
Cougars 0 for their last 6 from the field as they bring it across half court, down by 10.
And one thing for Houston, too, is, and this is a lot, they know they don't have subs, but you got to move without the ball on the weak side. You see players standing so much that it makes it easy for weak side defense.
Love has it blocked. Love gets it back. Cleaned up by Noori. Sophomore from Nigeria who played at Texas Tech before moving on to Boulder.
One thing I love to do is players who don't get a lot of playing time, when they do something well, I love looking at the bench. And Colorado was celebrating that block in the biggest way.
3-point attempt from Betson is no good, and one and done. Here's one area, too, where Houston could help with that lack of depth. Get an opportunity walking across half court. Buy some possessions, a little time within possessions if you can.
But I also think, like, be selective when you want to run. If there's a long missed 3, if there's a turnover, push tempo, get some easy scoring opportunities.
They move it around, and they find Merchant, who can't knock it down. It's a 9-0 run for Colorado. A chance to add to it right now with Weta. Betson fumbled it on her way to the basket, still tried to get it up on the rim, could not, and it'll be Houston basketball. Substitutions, Sanders back into the game for Colorado. And Erin Powell back on the floor as well.
And Eric, you talked about just how good of a point guard Weta is already, those 3 assists. She should have had a 4th there, and it started at half court. She knew her post was on her shoulder without even looking. It was a tremendous pass. Teammate just couldn't finish.
I'm going to just do a very gentle correction, 4 assists, because I know how sensitive you are if assists aren't credited the right way.
Thank you. I stand corrected. Apologies, Weta.
You'll accept that every time. Yes,
apologies,
the former
Weta.
guard. Pritchard, no. And the rebound for Noori. Tadair over the top, batted away by Love. Colorado doesn't have much cooking right now on the offensive end. Can Houston take advantage on this end is the big question. They haven't scored yet in the second quarter. 0 for their last 10 and counting.
Well, I think for Houston, don't settle for the 3. They average 6 makes a game, but when you get tired, that's one of the things that starts happening is you settle for the outside shot versus trying to create.
How about that take to the basket? The bench will love that, I guarantee you, as Noori has a chance for a 3-point play.
And celebrating the most was Masagayo for Noori. This sophomore has such upside. The first step is so long. She's agile. She goes through the contact for the potential N1.
Noori's going to get some time. Naimir Dew, grad student, is out, missing her 2nd consecutive game. We talked about Frida Foreman being out. Sarah Rose Smith is a game time decision. I think it's probably going to be score and game dependent whether or not we see her. So we've talked about it for both these teams. Thin benches, but a player like Noori comes in and can make a difference like that. Advantage Colorado. Merchant.
Nice help side by Sanders.
Blair. Drought continues for Houston. Flipped up ahead, tracked down by Johnson, but she traveled. Turnover number 8 for Colorado. Again, it's been a theme for Colorado. That's going to help Houston stay in this game. But right now, Houston can't get it going. And this has been a familiar theme for Houston this season. You think about it. Last Sunday, the regular season finale to UCF, they led by 6 in the second quarter, but then UCF went on a 16-0 run to flip the game. And it's a second quarter drought here for Houston right now.
The fight, the effort has been there for Houston all season long. It's just the execution piece that's been lacking on a consistent basis.
Still looking for their first points of the quarter. 12-0 run for Colorado. Weta, 14 unanswered points for Colorado.
I asked Ron Huey about the offense. He said, he's had to really shorten the playbook because of the injuries this year.
Weta gets called for the foul, but in happier moments for Kendall Weta, there was this play.
Well, and Kendall, you didn't even need the assist on this one because you took it yourself.
Be sure to stay with us at halftime. Madison and Rachel will keep you company, and they'll be joined by head coach of the team that will take on the winner of this game. Tia Barnes must be very interested in this matchup, and she'll share her thoughts at halftime.
Well, I'll tell you who is excited about this matchup, and this is the family of Lily Love. Yes, the Love family here, and dressed for success here with the custom T-shirts.
The Chiefs red, I know it's Houston red, but when you're from Kansas City, Kansas, it's got to be the Chiefs red. Lily was at Georgia Tech, and then she was at Louisville last season, and now she's playing a homecoming game in the Big 12 tournament, playing for Houston, and out of the timeout, Cougars needed that. They had missed 13 straight, including going 0 for 10 in the second quarter before that basket to make it a 13-point game. Blair with 7 points for the Cougars. Garzone back out for Sanders. And a traveling violation. Turnover number 9 for the Buffs.
So Houston comes out of the timeout, set play, little elbow screen for Blair. She doesn't need much space. Great execution by Houston.
Deep 2 on the way, front iron no good, and a rebound for Colorado. Kicked in the backcourt. That gives Masagayo a chance to check back into the game. Colorado is a plus 13 in rebounding margin. We knew that would be an issue for Houston because they were last in the Big 12 this year, minus 9 in margin. And Colorado overall good rebounding team at plus 6, fifth in the Big 12. They got the personnel sorted out on the sideline.
We talked about the similarities of these programs, unfortunately on the bad end of it with the injuries. But the other similarity is that both these head coaches have been known for their defensive systems. For Colorado, just a physical defense that just makes you have to make tough shots. For Houston, a program that's used to turning you over and scoring and mixing up the defenses. And it's just been a total reset for Colorado, injuries as well as a lot of youth. For Houston, the injuries.
10 turnovers now for Colorado. Blair won't drop. Great rebound and a putback by Kiara Merchant. I am sitting next to the founding member of the Kiara Merchant fan club.
I'll tell you, every coach would love a player like Merchant because, Eric, she leads Houston and steals and blocks at just 5'7". She's relentless on the defensive end. She's an energy player for this Houston ball club. I'm just a really big fan of this young player.
You saw her get on the offensive glass for the putback, and now Houston turning up the defense, and guess who's got the steal? Merchant, and Ron Huey loves it.
Energy, energy, energy. You've got to bring it to your team. You've got to leave it on the floor. Merchant times this jump against the taller defender, gets the offensive rebound and put back. And then on the other end, she does what she does best. She harasses the ball handler, gets the steal, gets the foul.
Merchant in the regular season, 31 blocks to lead the team, 71 steals to lead the team. One of only 2 Cougars to play in each and every game this year. Love tried to flip it back to the top. Sanders got a piece, but it's still Houston basketball, 10 to shoot. On the spin, Merchant.
I was going to add that to the club.
It's been a struggle for Colorado. They stretched it out to a comfortable lead. They get an open look here. That won't go. Blair's got it, one and done. Before that missed field goal, Colorado had turned it over 4 times in the previous 5 trips down the floor. So the door is still open here for Houston. They're down by 11. That would have helped bring it back to single digits. Instead, it's into the hands of Sanders.
And they've got numbers.
Sanders gets called for an offensive foul. Another turnover for the Buffaloes.
Turnover number 12 for Colorado, and it's Blair rotating over. Sanders getting called for that charge.
Regular season finale against Texas Tech. They turned it over 23 times, which led to 25 Texas Tech points.
And so it's twofold when you turn the ball over. You don't have the opportunity to score. The problem for Colorado as well this season, and this last one was a dead ball turnover, but they've been live ball turnovers, allowing teams to get out and get easy points in transition.
7 of their 12 turnovers have come here in the second quarter. Here's Sanders.
Same play they ran a little while ago for Masagayo, and she scores again.
You need a basket, get it to number 14, because she is 5 for 5 from the field, into double figures now with 10.
Well, she is tops in the Big 12 in shooting percentage.
Sanders knocked it out of Blair's hands for the moment. Cook gets bounced around and is fouled. Free throws coming for the Cougars.
So, Eric, I showed it a moment ago in terms of the back screen. Look at this screen by Garzon there. And so she sets it after Masagayo set the screen. Great delivery by Sanders, and then Masagayo just does the rest of the work.
Valentadere, her first. And here is Gigi Cook to the free throw line. Houston's win in the Big 12 was an impressive one. They beat Oklahoma State January 14th. It was their last win, and Gigi Cook was big in that game, 16 points, and she was 10 of 11 from the free throw line. She brings Houston within 12 late in the first half. Here's zone to Sanders. Weta on the bench with the 2 personal fouls. So Sanders continues to run the show for Colorado. Had Masagayo would appear. Saved by Betson. Sanders having trouble with Houston all over her right now. 7 on the shot clock. Masagayo, can she stay perfect from the floor? No. Here's Houston trying to go on a little run to close out the quarter, carrying a little momentum into the locker room at halftime. Blair. McFarland hands it off to Love. Love had it knocked out of her hands. 7 on the shot clock. Drive on the baseline, count it. Merchants. Shot clock is off. Colorado will hold for 1. It's a 7-2 burst by Houston to close out the quarter. 5 seconds to go. Open look from outside, no. Batted it out of bounds, and it will be Houston basketball, 1.2 to go. Or was there there was a foul called, so it will be 2 free throws for Houston.
And this is when you see effort paying off. There's no quit in Houston. They're playing hard. They've been able to generate a little bit of offense. Can they cut into this double-digit deficit going into the locker room?
Christy, the score was 27-12. Colorado was in control, on top by 15. They had a 14-0 run, but what's changed here has been one of the bugaboos for, or the biggest bugaboo for Colorado, and that's turnovers.
You say bugaboo, I just say pain in the butt. I mean, it is so hard for a team to get momentum when you're turning it over, and this is what we've seen time and time again, unfortunately, for Colorado this season.
J.R. Payne has seen it too many times. Merchant at the free throw line. So some gift points at the end there after the foul. Merchant makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. She had 5 points. Colorado can take care of the ball. The scoreboard will take care of itself, but if Houston can take advantage of those turnovers, it's going to be a tight one down the stretch.
I think you're absolutely right about it. If Colorado can take care of the ball, they should have no problem. If Houston can make some shots off of those miscues, they could get the upset.
Houston was 3 for 18 from the field in the second quarter, shooting 25% for the game as the third quarter is underway. Knocked out of bounds by Love for Houston.
And Eric, there's no coach's adage like you got to start quarter strong, you got to end quarter strong. I'm really eager to see how both these teams come out of the locker room and what adjustments each coaching staff has made.
Well, one key adjustment is getting Kendall Weta on the floor. She played 11 minutes of the first half. She had 2 fouls, the point guard back on the floor. And when the starting point guard's on the floor, traditionally, historically, the offense flows a little bit better. Garzone's got 5 after that bucket to get things going here in the third quarter. Deep 3 is no good, and McFarland, actually it was last touched by Masagayo with McFarland crashing.
Well, this is a set play, and it's Jade Masagayo who takes the dribble at Garzone, and she cuts it back door. Great delivery, great finish.
Cook to McFarland. McFarland sets the screen for Cook. Love will launch from outside. That's got to feel great for Lee Love in this homecoming game. Knocks it down. The Lee fan club loves it. You know that. 5 points now for Love.
Well, someone else has to give double-digit scoring for Houston besides Claire, and that obvious candidate is Lee Love.
That rattles in from the freshman, Tabitha Betson for 3. Betson 32% from outside the arc this season. That's her first 3 today. Houston now 4 for 10 on threes this afternoon. Love was tripped previous trip down the floor for Love in Houston ended with a Love 3.
Well, it started with Gigi Cook's dribble penetration. Defense sucked in, Love spotted up, and then on the other end, same thing. Ball gets in the paint, defense sucked in, Betson spotted up.
There's a 3, and here comes Houston. Gigi Cook hits the triple. 8-point game. The largest Colorado lead was 15 midway through the second quarter. Masigayo. McFarland there defensively. Weta surveying.
Betson's got the mismatch.
Inside on Love. A correction on Blair, and a foul's going to be called on Layla Blair.
Colorado really fortunate there because initially they missed Betson down low. And then when Blair hit the floor, I thought there might be a charge called on Betson. Did look like she dropped that shoulder a little bit. But the official then called Blair for tripping Betson, and that's why Colorado has the ball.
Only for the moment, though. Oh, they get it back. Looked like it was going to be a turnover. Off the mark, and here comes Houston's Merchant. Love. Nowhere to go, and a traveling violation. Masigayo was there to help with the defense, and it'll be Colorado basketball. Winner takes on Arizona, 1:30 Central Time tomorrow. Buffs beat Arizona in early February by 9. That game was in Boulder. We talked about how Colorado, a much different team at home compared to on the road. And here on a neutral site, Houston trying to get things going in the third quarter, and a tie-up. Good defensive play by Garzone. Possession arrow will keep it with Houston. You talked about the breakdown before, Christy. I'm sure elevation has something to do with it. We've seen it with West Virginia, great home court advantage. J.R. Payne's team, great home court advantage this year.
Well, and I'll say to someone who's played at Colorado, it's real. It affects you. But I'll also say I think some of this is young players understanding what it takes to win on the road. You just got to be disciplined. You got to understand that margin for error is less on the road than it is at home because your fans aren't there behind you, cheering you on. But Eric, we've seen this across the Big 12 this season, the difference with teams at home and on the road.
2 of the wins for Colorado at home, 10th ranked Kansas State, January 25th by 10. That started a 4-game winning streak for Colorado, and they carried that streak to the Iowa State game, but then they lost by 30. Just gives you an idea of the roller coaster that Colorado's been on this year. They also knocked off top 25 team West Virginia. They were down 16 in the third in that game and came battling back at home to beat the Mountaineers, who are the number 4 seed here in this championship.
Well, I think it goes back to Frida Foreman. Without Frida Foreman, this team is 7-6. You've got 30 games missed by the core rotation players for Colorado. That's a lot, but it's also not an excuse. It is a matter of the ball goes up, next player up. We've got to execute. We've got to perform.
Kind of an unforced error turnover. Another turnover for Colorado. That's 14 for the Buffs. Love got the defender in the air. Masigayo gets called for the block. That'll be her second personal foul.
And Lily Love has that one-on-one off the bounce opportunity when she's matched up with either Betson or Garzone. And so I'm seeing a little bit more of that now in the half court here in this half, that Houston's trying to exploit that.
Love back to the free throw line, 73% on the season. I like how, her family's up there recording the free throws, got the light on too. May not realize it, but like we're getting every moment of Lily playing here in Kansas City.
I think the family thinks that Lily deserves the spotlight. That's what I think that is.
Yes, I think that's the better way to put it. Weta throws it, good catch, Garzone finishes with the left. Cook. Blair. Defended by Sanders. Blair lost the handle, and here comes Colorado. Numbers the other way for the Buffs. Up by 8, all the way to the basket for 2, Kennedy Sanders. Her career high came against Houston this season when she went for 18.
I like this freshman, Kennedy Sanders. I think she plays hard, redshirt freshman. And that was a heads-up play. No one stopped ball, so she took it coast to coast.
Cook. Layla Blair averaging almost 14 points a game, had 7 in the first half, looking for her first points. What an outstanding defensive player comes in, gets the steal, but good hustle by Houston getting back on the play. Love hustling back with Cook. Colorado ball.
Here's Kendall Wetta with her 5th assist of the evening. I'm not sure how she knew where Garzone was going to be, but she found her. Great cut by Garzone for that easy 2.
And a foul is going to be called on Colorado. It's going to be Wetta picking up her 3rd.
And Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the 2nd time Wetta's got called for that extension of the arm.
Yes, you're right. So
Kendall Wetta trying to make something happen off the bounce, and good call by the officials.
Sorry, Christy. Wetta will go to the bench with the 3 fouls. Tadair comes on. Defending Cook, and Cook has her pocket picked by Tadair. Sanders coming to help. Can't get the layup, but Colorado still has it. Sanders, Masigayo. Colorado resetting as we approach 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. And that's going to be a foul on Merchant for Houston.
I'd love for Colorado to start just doing some ISOs for Masigayo. Get the ball at the high post. Let her try to create off the bounce. Get her off the move. Force Peyton McFarland to chase her a little bit.
Masigayo 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for the Buffs. Sanders. Masigayo calling for it in the post. Let's see if they can get it to her. They can against McFarland, and then lost the handle. Turnover number 16 for Colorado. Despite that high total, the Buffs lead by 10 here in the 3rd.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check first that you bought seats in the right section. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
We'll see. Help yourself.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Keep climbing to the top, yeah, I'm crushing it, crushing it. I'm on my way now. It's my better self.
Please, can I have these, Mommy?
Finding your healthy has never been easier. Start with Sprouts.
Children's Health is nationally ranked in all 11 pediatric specialties. We're recognized leaders in the field of rising to the challenge, making great strides to eliminate chronic uncertainty, and finding a cure for worried sick. Children's Health team members are renowned pioneers, and you got this. Squeeze real tight, and the most beautiful sound in the whole wide world.
A body in motion stays in motion until you feel that muscle tighten, that sharp pain you didn't expect, and suddenly you're stopped in your tracks. KRT helps you get back in action with all natural pain relief in just minutes. Don't get sidelined by muscle cramps. Stay in the game with KRT.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new.
We on a new wave. This ain't what it was.
See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. And always been greater than 12, now standing 16 strong. In every end zone, any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know. We are.
Just day one of a busy week here in Kansas City. It's a 10-point game and game number 2 of 4 today here at the T-Mobile Center in downtown KC. Already today, UCF with a victory over BYU. Caitlin Peterson, 35 points, 25 coming in the second half. UCF had a big fourth quarter, outscoring BYU 23-12. So they advance on to take on K-State tomorrow noon Eastern time here in Kansas City. The winner of this game will take on Arizona. 2 more games to come here tonight. Kansas, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Arizona State. Brenda Van Langen and Andrea Lloyd will be your guides for those 2 games in the night session here in KC.
And you've seen Colorado come out and extending into some full court pressure.
Well, Houston's turned it over their last 3 possessions, so Colorado trying to make it 4 turns in 4 trips. But into the front court comes Cook. Blair. Short on the jumper, into the hands of Sanders. Sanders averages 17 minutes a game, getting a little extended run here today with Weta fighting some foul trouble.
Well, I mean, I think that last possession is a great example. Sanders plays solid defense.
There's Own, pops out for a 3. She's in the double figures now with 10.
I think it's important for Houston to finish this quarter strong. They don't have to get it all back right now, but they got to stay in striking distance the rest of this quarter.
Masagayo with the rebound off the miss by Merchant. And here comes Sanders. Masagayo kicks it over to Grace Oliver. Today directing traffic. 7-0 run right now for the Buffs. Chance to add to it, but the shot clock is winding down now at 5. Their zone.
You see the adjustment by Houston now trapping that on-ball screen, late shot clock.
Masagayo can't get a shot off, and Houston gets a stop and forces turnover number 17 for the Buffs. Masagayo will check out. Ayana Johnson will come in. Cook pushes it across half court. 3:20 to go in the third quarter.
One thing that's been an issue for Houston in the half-court offense is whoever is defending Peyton McFarland just sitting in the paint.
Sanders got the deflection, the steal, and the dish to Johnson for her first points. Merchant is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Here's Sanders with the D.
Sanders just times this perfectly, get her hand in the passing lane and knocks it forward. And I love that she waited for a teammate, sets it up there for Johnson to get the score.
At the line, shooting 2.
And these are the ones Houston needs to get. They got to get these free throws. Crunch time, no time on the clock. Just try to get back in this game, and free throws are an easy and quick way to do that.
Merchant can't hit, and the rebound pulled down by Grace Oliver. Oliver in the regular season meeting against Houston had 16 points, career high, and she added 14 rebounds. So she's got good vibes against the Cougars. Oliver looking for the assist, but seeing the pass coming was Blair, and Houston forced another turnover, but then, well, no, it will stay with Houston, just keeping an eye on Blair, who took a moment to get up in the backcourt, but she seems to be okay.
Well, you're seeing Houston have some success with trapping that on-ball screen of Colorado. 2 straight turnovers off of that trap.
Merchant on the pull-up for 2. 7 points for the sophomore. Sanders. Garzone. Can't get the pull up, and Merchant's got the rebound. That's her 6th rebound, but she's not done fighting yet, and she wins the battle for the loose ball. She usually does. Ogman.
Effort goes a long way, Eric.
Ogman can't get it. So speaking of effort, there's Peyton McFarland trying to get on the offensive glass, but Colorado comes away with it. Garzone on the baseline, takes it in for 2. 12 points for Garzone, averaging 10.5 a game. Coming off a good game scoring against Texas Tech when she went for 16, played 42 minutes in that game.
And she felt like she should have gotten to the free throw line. She was coming all the way down the court, just arguing with the official, showing the slap mark on her shoulder.
Johnson with a good play to knock it away, and it was last touched by Houston, so Colorado will take over.
Leora Garzone just going hard baseline and didn't have the angle because she was too low. That's why she took herself up to the middle of the floor and pleading her case with the official.
You looked up pleading your case with the official in the basketball dictionary rulebook. That photo could be used, right? That was the universal look where what was the foul?
Leora, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice from all my failed efforts doing that with officials. Once they've already started down the floor, they're not coming back.
How many times did that look work for you in your career
all
as
my
a coach
experience,
or a player?
We'll go with a big goose egg.
0.0.
Even with the sweet talk, it didn't work.
Did you turn up that Alabama sweet talk? Because that's like really sweet. You can take it to another level.
It was a little head tilt, a little Tridex sweet.
But then you dropped a bless your heart on him, and then it was all over. There is Lily Love to the basket. I love that we have the Love family cam going whenever Lily does something.
I was hoping you could get another Love in there.
It's not hard to do.
The Love cam.
Final minute off the 3rd quarter.
Houston's a stop and a score away from hopefully getting this to single digits.
Merchant got on the floor, and a timeout is called by Colorado to keep possession. 9 on the shot clock. 25.9 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take the timeout as well, with the Buffs on top by 13. Share the love, Christy Tomascuddy.
Well, Lily Love is coming home to Kansas City, and she's doing it on both ends. She shoots the gap defensively and then got the score for Houston.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball. I love this. Sorry, here we go again. But we've got a crew that here's, we're doing all this sharing the love, and then they go outside and they've got love there. We were talking about Lily love. We've got kids who love being here in the building because it was a snow day today, right? For most kids around here, not everybody. So great to have everybody here today to get things started at the T-Mobile Center.
Those kids are starting hard early. First day. Hang in there till Sunday, ladies. Another set play for Colorado at the break.
Sanders can't get it, and a foul is called.
Eric Johnson's a young lady for Colorado that has tons of upside. Quick leaper, has some length, is really good off the bounce. She's a young lady, I think, as this offense for Colorado struggles, I'd like to see her getting on the glass, creating some second chance opportunities like we just saw.
Got a little blood, I think, for Garzone, so she's got a towel right now, and see if they do a little more than that. They're just making sure.
I do appreciate that she went right in front of the official to wipe the blood off. I think she's still trying to get that call.
She's trying to make a point here by where she's going with the towel and the elbow. So we're just going to have just a slight delay to do a little cover up. I think Lior is like, you saw me hit that 25-footer before. Let's not make that wrap too tight. So we got more basketball coming up later on. The doubleheader between Cincinnati and Arizona State, and Kansas and Texas Tech. Texas Tech with that win over Colorado in overtime in Lubbock to close out the regular season. So they're coming in here with a bit of a bump.
I mean, I think it's like the Texas Tech defense versus that Kansas offense. Texas Tech can mix up the defenses. And I'll say it again, does the defense travel here to Kansas City?
Johnson at the free throw line makes it a 15-point game. Final seconds, final shot here for Houston. Here is Love. Love on the drive, a little too strong on the take, and a rebound pulled down by Johnson, and Augman gets called for the foul with 4.3 to go in the quarter. And free throws on the other end for the Buffs.
I'll go back to it again. Johnson can make winning plays for Colorado because she's so athletic that time with the defensive rebound.
Sophomore from Jefferson, Wisconsin, who played at Minnesota last season, steps to the line. Well, Colorado, a team trying to find its way late in the season. We talked about it at length before about Frida Foreman being out of the lineup, but Buffalo's losers of 5 of their last 7 entering play here in the Big 12 tournament. Every team comes here looking for a reset if things didn't go your way in the regular season. And even if you're a team like TCU or Baylor at the top of the standings, you have to think about the reset button because a new season is starting. Eve at the horn off the board and off the rim, and that point advantage, their largest lead of the game as we start the 4th here. The winner to take on Arizona tomorrow afternoon here in Kansas City. Johnson with 6 points in that 3rd quarter, and a foul is going to be called. I think it's going to be on Cook because I see her protesting more than anybody else. Just reading those context clues.
You can be my charades partner anytime. I mean, Cook checked the defender. The offensive player she was cutting through.
And a foul's going to be called on Merchant as she was trying to slow down the much bigger Betson driving to the basket.
So here's what you don't want to do for Houston. Stop the clock right now with these fouls because we documented it. Colorado will turn the ball over. You want to have the opportunity. Don't let them get more points. Extend this lead at the free throw line.
Betson at the line. Can't make the first. Averaging 5 points a game. 3.5 boards. Colorado's been getting to the free throw line as of late. 1 of 2 now for Betson. She's got 6. And here comes Layla Blair. Blair held in check in the third quarter, had 7 first-half points, did not score in the third quarter. Love had a good quarter. She had 7 of her 9 in the third. Lefty, wedgie. Possession arrow will keep it with Houston.
No words.
None needed. I mean, if you could top lefty wedgie, I dare you.
That was more than the wedgie itself. Was that?
Oh, there's a little contact in the face as Cook was hit by Tadair, who just gives a little tap to the arm of Cook, make sure she's okay.
So this is an area for Houston. Out of bounds plays. Easy scoring opportunities if you can execute, set screens.
Cook had it knocked out of her hands. Love, offensive foul. Tadair needs a moment after taking that contact. Johanna, grad student from Estonia, helped up, and she'll head off. Lost her wind on the contact, I would guess, because there's smiles as she walks to the bench.
That's one she'll feel in the morning.
Houston trying to dial up the pressure here again, playing with just 2 reserves, so they have to use a lot of energy here in this fourth quarter to try to get back into it. How much do they have in the tank?
Well, now in the half court, can you play clean? Can you force Colorado to execute in the half court?
What up? Tough pass. Turnover by Colorado. That's number 20 for the Buffs. Cook able to turn the turnover to points.
And as soon as the ball goes through the net, Ronald Huey is saying, pick up, pick up. They're going to try to trap the ball right now.
Wetta's on the floor playing with the 3 personal fouls. Gets out of traffic and launching a 3 is Erin Powell. And it'll be Houston basketball.
Well, it starts because Blair gets the ball deep below the free throw line, so the defense drops, and then Gigi Cook coming in transition for that 3.
Read by Love to knock it out of play. It will stay with Colorado. Masagayo coming back into the game for the Buffs as Johnson will check out. Played some good minutes here in the second half for Colorado.
Colorado's at their best when the ball goes side to side, and then they get it into Masagayo or whoever. It's when they're trying to force shots. One side, ball has not been reversed.
3-pointer off the mark. This is a Colorado team that doesn't rely on the 3 too much. 11th in the Big 12, averaging 6.5 makes a game. And again, we've talked about it without Foreman now for a 14th game. Their top 3-point shooter in program history. Garzone trying to pick up the slack, and she does. Another 3. That's her 3rd of the game in 5 attempts. 15 now for Lior. Good back-to-back games for her. 16 against Texas Tech, 15 now in the postseason against Houston. There's the first points of the second half for Layla Blair, and it leads to a timeout called by Houston. We'll take it as well with 7:25 to go in the fourth quarter here in KC.
Leora Garzone is back in the Big 12 tournament like she never left. The Oklahoma State transfer has been really good for Colorado this afternoon. She's moved without the ball to create some easy scoring opportunities. She spotted up in transition, and we remember the first three that she had where all she needed was just a little bit of time and space. But 15 points for the graduate senior right now.
Helping Colorado to a comfortable lead here in the fourth quarter. Averaging 10.5 points a game, so she's above her average for a second consecutive game. So Houston, perhaps their last stand here. They're going to bring the pressure, try to turn Colorado over, which hasn't been hard to do here today, but the challenge has been scoring off of those turnovers. Here's Houston with the turnover. So they come out of the timeout. Ogman got the handle back just in time to get the finish.
Houston in a run and jump, and they get another turnover.
It's Weta getting called for the offensive foul. That'll be her fourth personal foul. Merchant taking the contact.
Well, Houston does the run and jump as soon as they cross half court, and you see them shoot the gap, get the turnover, and then on the other end, Weta with that arm extended again. The official right there. That's the third time of her 4 fouls that she's been called for that.
Merchant has it rejected. JoJo Nwori grimacing a little bit after coming down. She's got that brace on the left leg, left knee. Love can't get it. Nwori's got it.
Colorado's got numbers as they push.
Nwori seems to be okay as she brings it up the floor. Let's see how good she feels. Off the mark.
Well, the best defense is team defense. Teammate gets beat off the bounce, and Nwori rotates over there for the block. Same thing the second time. Teammate gets beat off the bounce. You got rotation coming in to clog up the paint, get the stop.
So off the Houston turnover, and it's going to be
Weta extending that arm again without the ball in her hand. J.R. Payne motioning her team over to get a pseudo timeout right now and get them huddled up.
Boy, interesting. Weta gets called for her 5th. She was sprinting off the floor just to get out of there, but Payne, the veteran coach. So they're going to go to the monitor here. But Christy, you were on it right away with just extending the arm, and officials have called it. That was 4, right, of the 5 fouls?
So here is Weta right in front of the ball. And so as soon as what she's doing is trying to create some space, and she displaces the defender there right in front of the official. That's why we're going to the monitor.
So you hear the voice of Jesse Dickerson as they're at the monitor right now to see if it's going to be anything more than a common foul. And the question would be, does it rise to the level of an intentional foul? And that's what they're taking a look at right now. Let's take a look from a different angle here, right side of your screen. Yeah, even from that angle, you can just see the extension and the push. So clearly a foul, but was there a little bit extra with the push up around the neck area that's going to result in an intentional foul, which would be 2 free throws plus the ball for Houston if the officials decide on the upgrade.
I gotta believe the main thing they're looking at right now is it the unnecessary hard or excessive push off there.
They haven't posted anything officially yet, but that is 5 fouls on Weta because the offensive foul was called. It's just a question of, is there going to be that added benefit for Houston of the 2 free throws and possession? It will be Houston's ball no matter what, and the starting point guard and best defender for Colorado is done with 6:30 to go.
And as we've seen, that's huge because Houston has been pressing, doing their run and jump, which means you're bringing someone from the weak side to go double the ball handler.
Officials are going to go to the benches in a moment. I think we're going to get the announcement first, or at least the officials have gone back towards the monitor here to look at one more thing. They were about ready to go talk to the coaches. And
previous foul is going to be upgraded to an intentional foul, 2 shots in the ball for red.
So it is upgraded to intentional. Weta is done, and it'll be 2 free throws for the Cougars. Anyone could take them, and it'll be Layla Blair taking the 2 free throws here.
Just an 80% free throw shooter.
That's all. These little things happen too. We've talked about Houston being shorthanded. Well, you just had a 2-minute or so, 3-minute replay review, so you get a little chance to rest. After this Blair free throw, it will be your ball, and you know what's going to happen after that. Houston has just to throw everything against the wall, and Ron Huey's team has an opportunity here to push back. Still plenty of time, 6.5 minutes to go, and they have the ball down by 12.
Think about it. They have the opportunity right now to cut this into single digits in this possession, and we know that run and jump's coming if they score.
Here's Augman.
Again, spacing so important for Houston if they're trying to beat Colorado off the bounce.
They get an open look. Love had a great look, just wouldn't drop, and a rebound for Tadair. That's one area that Colorado has been in firm control. It's on the glass. They are a plus 19 in rebound margin, but they are a big negative when it comes to turnover margin. Love kicks it outside, and the only one there is Ron Huey. Little smile on his face.
Ron could knock that down back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, and this is not the day he would want to try that one. I think Love was just trying to find a wide open trailer for a 3, and there was just nobody there.
Well, I think initially she thought she had that lane to the rim, and then it closed up, and she had to get the bail out by tossing it back.
Garzone got the assists, but can't get it to drop. Masigayo cleared a lane perfectly for Garzone, but it just would not go in for Colorado. So it's Houston basketball, 5:37 to go in the 4th.
And now Colorado extending into some full court pressure. I'm sure this is just to make Houston have to take more time off the clock. And you want to know who's loving the fact that Colorado can't put Houston away right now? The Arizona coaching staff.
Augman buries a wide open 3. Timeout's going to be called here by Houston. They'll get their defense set, but that leaves them with just 2 timeouts.
Well, Houston's 5th made 3.
Oh, it's a deep 2.
Actually, they called it a 2. Couldn't have come at a better time for Augman.
So a deep 2, my apologies for Augman. So Leilani has 6 points, but it's now a 10-point game. It was an 18-point lead for Colorado in the opening minutes of this 4th quarter. They led 53-35, but now an 8-0 run for Houston, and we've got a ball game. Starting point guard for Colorado has fouled out, so she's on the bench. Is there enough time, and does Houston have enough efficiency to erase this 10-point deficit would be the question.
I'm going to say yes, because you've got Layla Blair, who we know can knock down the 3. But you hit the correct word, the efficiency piece. You've got to go fast right now defensively, try to get some quick turnovers. And most importantly, make Colorado have to execute. Don't bail them out with fouls.
Sanders on the sideline, always a dangerous place. And then Colorado does well to break the pressure, and it results in a layup for Masigayo.
Great pass by Kennedy Sanders to find Masigayo under the basket.
First points of the second half for Masigayo. Big ones right there to end the 8-0 run. Inside of 5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Back out to Cook. Use that word efficiency as well. Ooh, Cook slides down. I don't think she got pushed. She just lost her footing, and it's a turnover for Houston.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the official immediately motion for someone to come and wipe up the floor. She's hit a slick spot. Really unfortunate for Houston that Gigi Cook, as she's trying to get past her defender, just slips. No foul there. Where we know the key for Colorado the rest of this game is to handle the full court pressure of Houston, and they get it from the side, get the ball to the middle of the floor. That's what you want to do against a press. Kennedy Sanders finds Masigayo under the basket. And so I just said it. If you're going to try to handle the pressure, stay off the sideline. The way to beat it is to stay in the middle. Kennedy Sanders really fortunate there. She didn't turn it over.
Sanders dribbles towards the sideline. Now she's in trouble and turns it over. Turnover number 25 for Colorado. Blair couldn't get the three. Wow, flying in out of nowhere was Love, but saved it to Colorado. Buffs have it. Bit of a scramble right now, and Love gets called for the personal. So that's 3 on Love.
Lily Love pleading her case to the official, and Ron Huey's like yelling at her to get back because Masagallo was unattended in the backcourt.
Chaos is the word that comes to mind as Colorado is just trying to get this to the finish line, and they keep turning it over or nearly turning it over. Now the shot clock's down to 5. Will they get a shot off? And it's thrown away. 26 turnovers for the Buffaloes. Despite 26 turnovers, they have a 12-point lead, but now J.R. Payne just wants to settle things down if she can, and she'll use a timeout to try to do so.
I think this is a great timeout by J.R. Payne. There's no flow to her team's offense right now. They're so frustrated by the press. And hats off to Ronald Huey. He started pressing. A lot of times I see it. Teams start pressing way too late. He started pressing with about 7 minutes to go in this game. And his team seems to have got a little bit of pep to their step now because of the press.
How much is in the tank, though? You know, we've seen it. Their players, you can go down the list, the number of minutes they average per game this season, the number of minutes they've played here today. But once you see those turnovers start to pile up, and just, Christy, here's the list. Dan Ferrand has provided it. 5 turnovers in the first quarter for Colorado, 7 in the second quarter, 7 turnovers in the third quarter, and already 7 here in the fourth quarter, and we have 3:58 to go in the game.
And in the first and second and majority of the third, there was no press. So this is why I say right now, if I'm J.R. Payne, I'm handling the press breaker first and foremost, and I'm telling my young point guard and Kennedy Sanders, avoid the sideline. That's the key for that jump, that weak side player to run across and double the ball handler because you don't see him coming. That's why Kennedy Sanders has struggled a little bit, because she stayed on the sidelines.
Colorado's season high in turnovers, 30. Something we talked about earlier. It's been an issue for the Buffs this season, trying to take care of the basketball. They'll need to take better care of it in this final 3:58 if they're going to advance on to the next round to take on Arizona. They have a cushion on the scoreboard right now. And again, we talked about efficiency. One part of efficiency, field goal shooting. And Houston is shooting 31% from the field. There's a high percentage shot, but it just won't drop for the Cougars. Got what they wanted out of that timeout. And now Masagallo running back the other way will finish for Colorado.
Jamie Masagallo.
Fed inside to Love. Masagallo there with the defense and comes up with a good block.
Love doesn't need to compound this with a foul right now. Just play solid defense.
Here's Gerzon. Swarmed at midcourt, and it's going to be a 10-second violation.
One official saying timeout, the other said 10 seconds.
They're saying violation before the timeout, so it'll be Houston basketball.
Well, I don't know if Kansas City is looking for a receiver, but I'm going to nominate Masagallo because that pass is a little bit led too much. Masagallo goes up and snatches it. Tremendous hands.
Patrick Mahomes is always in the market for a playmaker.
I'm just saying.
Turnover by Houston to Gerzon. Player back on the floor behind the play. It's Merchant, who's very slow to get up. So it's a 5-on-4 here, and Colorado's just going to slam on the brakes, work some clock inside of 3 minutes to go as Merchant hustles back, and Augman reads it and has the interception. 2-on-1 the other way. Finished by the Cougars. Timeout, Houston.
Well, we knew for Houston to get back in the game, it was going to have to come from their defense. Augman shoots the gap from the weak side, then pushes it in tempo, and I'm not sure she meant to get the assist back, but she gets to finish the play.
12-point Colorado lead. 2:45 to go. 2 more games still to come already today. UCF with a 12-point win over BYU. Fantastic performance by Caitlin Peterson, the #2 scorer in the Big 12 with 35 points. Cincinnati, Arizona State to come. Kansas, Texas Tech to come in our night session doubleheader here at the T-Mobile Center and the 2025 Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship. Tomorrow, it will be K-State taking on UCF to get things going at noon Eastern Time. Arizona to take on the winner of this game. And Iowa State and Utah also joining the fun tomorrow when they make their tournament debuts. Out of the timeouts, guess what? Turnover, Houston basketball.
And I like that timeout by Ronald Huey. Get the press set up, get your kids a little bit of a rest, and it pays off.
Cook. 13 points for Gigi Cook. Not done yet. 2:35 to go. Garzone. Out to Sanders.
To beat the run and jump, once it gets in, you want to get everybody away from the ball so that you have a pass, because that means 2 people committed. Much better job that time by Colorado to get the ball across half court.
Out to Garzone. 10 on the shot clock. Tadair. Out to Sanders. Sanders sets for a 3. No good, but guess who's got the rebound? Masagayo, and a reset here for Colorado. Big O board for the junior.
And immediately, as soon as they had the rebound, J.R. Payne yelled to her players, pull it out. They want to work the clock.
Shot clock now down to 5. Masagayo has it knocked out of her hands. And then taken away by Love. 2-on-1 the other way. Love lost the handle and then knocked out of bounds by Colorado's Tadair. It'll be Houston basketball with 1:41 to go. Merchant coming back into the game as Bostock will check out. Remember, Merchant was back behind the play a couple of possessions ago, so she's back out there. Here's Cook launching another 3. Too strong, and Tadair's got the rebound. And turned it over. Augman puts it in. Timeout called by Colorado. 30th turnover for Colorado. Houston turns it into points, 7-point game.
Eric, I don't mean to correct you, but the 31st, it's updated since you saw it. And it's Augman shooting the gap. What I'm seeing from Colorado right now is they're making passes only looking at their teammates. They do not see the defense. They've got to read the defense, and then they'll know where to pass it.
I'll admit it, I lost track of the turnovers.
It's happening fast.
When it gets above 30, I can't be blamed for that. Speaking of fast, 7-0 run right now for Houston. Now with 1:24 to go, Colorado taking the timeout. Remember, the timeout called with 1:24 to go, so there's no chance to advance here for Colorado into the front court. They have to put it in play in the backcourt, so they're facing this Houston pressure right now.
Well, I think because of the run Houston's on, I don't mind that timeout at all by J.R. Payne. Get her team calm down, get the press breakers set up.
Then out of the timeout, turnover, Colorado.
And
32.
Different press by Houston coming out of that timeout. Just Witten tried to trap that first pass, and it worked.
I mean, the body language right now, you would have no idea that Colorado is the team in front. They just look like the defeated team, and Houston is playing their hearts out right now, trying to pull off a miraculous comeback, but right now into the hands of Tadair, a grad student who can settle things down. And a foul is going to be called on Cook. Colorado will go to the free throw line. 4 on Cook. Tadair, 61% from the free throw line this season.
And Cook was not trying to foul there. And it's unfortunate because we've seen what's been happening with Colorado. If they could have just played solid defense, they probably had a chance for another turnover.
First one good for Tadair. She's got 5 points today to go along with 5 rebounds. Two big free throws for Tadair. 1:05 to go. Here is Layla Blair, hoping this is not her final game in a Houston uniform. Augman needs help, has it with Cook. Cook with the handle, lost the handle. Turnover, Houston, and taken away, and a foul is going to be called on Cook, and that will be her 5th.
A lot of tired players on both sides on the floor right now.
So Cook is done for the day, 13 points. She was 4 of 7 from outside the three-point line. That hurts for Houston because they need three-point shooting on the floor right now with 50 seconds to go. But perhaps the hill a little too high to climb right now for Houston against the Buffs. Especially with Garzone at the free throw line, 87% free throw shooter.
If I'm Houston, I try to do like a sideline break or something here. Very few dribbles, get the ball up the court quickly, and yes, look for your quick shot.
Garzone perfect from the line. Back to a double-digit lead for Colorado. Houston with 1 timeout remaining, and Blair's got the basketball. You get Merchant. Merchant will try the 2 and get it. Kiera Merchant with 9 points, all in the second half. Now looking to force a turnover. Sanders needs help, turns it over. Into the hands of Love. Love to the basket, 4-2. Timeout called by Colorado. Now they can advance it to the front court. 32.3 to go in what is once again a 7-point game.
Sanders just got caught. She wanted to keep dribbling, but she wanted to pass, and it just falls out of her hands. Lily Love, right place, right time, takes it in for the bucket.
33 turnovers for Colorado. The Love family hoping that there's enough time for Houston to come all the way back in this game. They were down 18, the Cougars were, in this fourth quarter.
Well, I think if you're Houston, is there a chance that you can just sell out? See if you can get the 5-second call here, force another turnover, try to get the ball back without any time going off, and then it's about time and score. Houston, only 1 timeout left in this game. Colorado just called their last timeout.
I have a stunning number for you.
Hit me.
Colorado has turned the ball over 14 times in this quarter.
If Colorado hangs on to win this game, I don't bring that stat up at all to my team tonight. It is flush it, and it is regroup and get ready for Arizona tomorrow, because I've never been associated, player, coach, doing this role with a team to turn it over this many times and potentially win a ball game.
Love called for her 4th personal foul, and the player that Colorado wants on the line in this situation is there right now. Garzone, 3 for 3 today. Now, if you're Houston, do you take a timeout to advance here, or do you keep it in your pocket in case you score and you can turn up your defense? And I think Houston's going to use the timeout. So they will advance it, but that is their final timeout.
So if you're Ron Huey right now, you're doing multiple things because it's no more timeouts. You're making sure they know what the offense is, and then they are setting up that defense.
So that's when Weta fouled out of the game, the starting point guard, and they could have used her steady hand because it's been turnover after turnover for Colorado, and Houston making the Buffaloes pay here in this fourth quarter.
And it hasn't been one player, it's been multiple players. It's been off the run and jump. It's just been on inbounds passes. It's been in the half court. It's been a plethora of turnovers.
It is full timeout, so a little chance here for Houston. Catch their breath a little bit, same for Colorado. And for us to catch our breath and remind you that we are just getting started here today. This is game number 2 of 4. Brenda Van Langen, Andrea Lloyd standing by for our night session. Arizona State and Cincinnati will get things started before Kansas takes on Texas Tech. First game tomorrow will be K-State, the number 5 seed, taking on UCF, which had the 12-point win in our opener earlier today here in Kansas City. And Arizona will take on either Colorado or Houston. Right now, advantage Colorado up by 9 with 30 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Houston out of timeouts. It is Houston basketball in the front court.
I gotta believe this is gonna be something run for Blair here. She's underneath the basket right now, cutting high.
Blair almost knocked away by Sanders. She's got to look for 3 and got it, and the foul! A chance for a 4-point play.
Eric, basketball is such a game of inches. Sanders almost gets it, and that's why she's behind the play. Masagayo has to come out to contest. Doesn't matter. Blair, the senior, steps up and knocks down a huge three for Houston with a chance to add to it.
Blair came down on Masagayo's foot, so the chance for the 4-point play. Converted by Blair. I was just about to ask you, do you think we've seen everything in this game? And the answer is no. We just saw the 4-point play. What else is there? There's now a foul by Love, and that will be her 5th with 23.6 to go in a 5-point game. So a 4-point play makes it a 2-possession game. McFarland's coming on, and Love is done. Family will salute her. She comes off 11 points, 3 assists for Lily Love today. Now, one thing that has really worked in Colorado's favor, Garzone being at the free throw line down the stretch. She's been perfect, and frankly, Colorado has needed her to be perfect from the free throw line. 6 for 6 from the line.
And Colorado's only had 15 points in this quarter. That tells you how valuable those free throws are.
Their last 8 points coming from the free throw line. Off the miss, the handoff, and the foul in the backcourt with 13.9 to go in a 7-point game. And a reminder, Houston out of timeouts, and Lily Love with the emotion on the bench.
It's hard. These players commit their entire lives to get to this opportunity, to get to play college basketball, and before you know it, it's over with. That's the emotion that Lily Love is showing right now.
It's a small senior class for Houston, but it's a small roster for Houston after all they've gone through this season with the injuries. But Augman, a senior, Blair, Love, McFarland. Final seconds here for Houston. Blair trying to add to her total for Houston. Instead, it's a rebound, and that will do it. The word that comes to mind is survive. And Colorado survives here today. They win it 60.